say hi, guys.
Hi guys.
Say, what's up, youth group?
Good.
What? Say, what's up?
What's the first up?
What's up, youth group?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not great. Say, how are you doing?
Hi doing.
How are you doing? And say, what's new with you?
What's new?
Yeah, just look right here. Look at that little dot. Yeah. Say, what's new with you? And say, are you surviving?
Put the by name.
Are you surviving? Yep. And can you show them your ouchie? Here, can you show them your ouchie? Say, look. Oh, I can't see it. Oh, ouchie. Just tell them what happened. What happened?
Then out hers toes.
Yeah.
The ouchie toes.
Oh, yeah, you were making toast and you burnt yourself on the toaster. You got ouchie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Can you say bye, guys?
Bye guys.
Say, have a good weekend.
Looking.
Okay, bye. Can you wave? Yeah. Just stop being awkward, okay?
I'm not awkward.
You're acting a little awkward. Just act
I'm
normal.
being myself.
Okay.
Whatever.
Let's try again. All right. Hey guys. How's it
Hello.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Okay, forget all that.
All right.
Hey guys. Sorry about waiting till mostly through the day to give you the video, but we're gonna try to keep to our commitment of giving it every day, so we're gonna do this. Actually, today's video is really important because today we're celebrating, if you're aware of it, maybe you're not, this is actually what we call Good Friday. Easter's coming up on Sunday, and this is Good Friday.
This
so
is why we have off of school.
yeah, exactly. That's why so they should know, right?
Yeah, they
Okay,
should know.
you should know. Anyways, it's actually, people are kind of weird, right? Because we call it Good Friday. And if you actually stop and think about it, what we're going to do here is, it's probably one of the saddest days in the history of the world. It also was one of the most incredible, or the most incredible day, the day that we build our entire faith off of. So let's talk about it a little bit. So Good Friday is the day we commemorate, that means remember, the death of Jesus. And so if you really let that sink in, it's kind of weird to call it Good Friday, isn't it? So if you think of the big picture, God, the creator of the entire world, came as a man to earth. Well, actually, first of all, he created us, right? He made earth, he made people, he made the earth, and he made them to walk with him, to love him, to be in relationship with him. And they chose to mess everything up. They chose to break God's laws, and they chose to rebel against him. And so God worked throughout history to redeem his people, to bring them back to himself. He did that through sacrifices in the Old Testament and working with the Israelites in the Old Testament. And then ultimately, he chose to send Jesus, his son, as to come to earth and to redeem men once and for all. And so he came. Remember, God, Jesus, we're talking about the same thing, although they're separate. We don't have to get into all that. That's deep. I should do a video about that sometime, but I don't know if I can. I probably can't. So maybe I should try. Anyways, but remember, Jesus isn't just some underling of God. He is our God, right? And he chose, and God sent him to this earth to live on this earth and to pull men back to himself. God's goal in sending Jesus was to redeem us from our lost and dead condition and give us new life. And ultimately, life means being in communion with God. Without God, there is no life. And so what Jesus was doing is redeeming us bringing us back to life. That's what he came to offer. Mm-hmm. And so you think of this big story, right? And you realize Jesus came, his plan came through, and ultimately the climax, the peak of the story is when Jesus gives up his own life. The people he came to save, specifically even his own people, the people he called his own, the Jews, turned against him, didn't believe he was God. They beat him and whipped him and spat in his face, and also they killed him. And so just let that sink in. The God, our God, creator of everything and one who's in control of the entire universe, chose to let himself become a man first of all, and then let himself suffer for our sake on the cross. And so with that in mind, it's like, why in the world do we call it Good Friday? That doesn't make sense. But the reason it's good is because this all fits into God's plan, right? This is through Jesus' death. He took the punishment that should be on us, the disconnection from God that should be on us, and he took it on himself, carried that to the grave, and in the Easter story of resurrecting and coming back to life, he conquered that death. So that death that had separated us from Jesus and from God, Jesus in his resurrection, coming back to life, conquered the death that separates us from God. Okay? So the goodness of Good Friday isn't in the fact that our God, that we as humans just beat and killed our God, but that Jesus actually allowed that to happen so that through him we can be reconnected with God to the state that he wants us to be, right? And so I don't know exactly what all you're doing today. Probably have some extra time. We didn't have school, so I challenge you. There's an account of Jesus' death in all 4 of the Gospels. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You can go look for it in there. It's not hard. I'm not going to actually give you the reference because I think it'd be good for you to look it up yourself. If you really can't find it, you can Google it. But toward the end of each book, right, there's a few chapters that deal with Jesus, the days leading up to Jesus' death, and then ultimately his death. This is hard chapters to read when you think about the fact that he's our God and we killed him, or people killed him. But let the beauty of the fact that his suffering led to our reconnection with God, let that sink in and let it have an impact on your life. Because I really think if we let that sink in, that is life-changing, that's transforming. And so the reason I live, I follow Jesus' example, the reason I do my best to live for God, and Chelsea as well, the reason we do this is because of the sacrifice that Jesus gave for us. And we will never, if we devote our entire lives to doing nothing but serve God, we will never repay him for that sacrifice that he gave for us. And so today, let's think about that. Let's let that sink in, that this is an important day to remember. I would say this is like this weekend with Good Friday and Easter coming up. This is probably one of the biggest holidays or times that we remember that as Christians, yeah, it's the most important weekend, I would say, of the year. And obviously you could argue that Christmas is because he was born that day. If he wasn't born, he couldn't die, whatever. This is a big deal, okay? And don't just let it slip by. Take time to think about it and to just to let it sink in and let the gravity of it touch you. Let it touch you. Okay? Is that good? Mm-hmm. Should we stop?
I think so. We weren't awkward, really.
No. Should I do like that little Bible thing? Should I do it to close out?
To close out, sure.